Hi, I'm David Ion, and today we're going to grade some batteries. I took these out of power tool packs, and these were out of medical packs. And I like to have a bin for not tested and fully charged. So I'm going to walk you through how I grade my cells and bring them up and try to refinish them back to a newer version of themselves, and so that you can build a healthy, high quality battery pack like this out of used batteries that you can run inverters or make batteries with. I did an e-bike, so I've done in several different things. So anyway, that's what we're doing today, and let's get started. So how I begin first is I take these Wise Blue chargers, and these are very good on older packs because what it does, lithium ion batteries will not, a lot of the chargers will not read this under 2.5 volts. So if these packs are very low, these Wise Blue chargers will bring them up and put them in a NiCad mode. And so we'll see if any of these are under 2.5, but they're not. So this one's 3.4, the second one is 3.9, and this one is 3.4. So we'll just take these out of here and get them ready. Let's try some of these ones from the power tool packs and see what they do. Huh. Now this is very interesting because usually there's some that are bad. So, oh, there you go. Here's one at 0.92. But so this one's good. This one's good. This one's reading 4.2, so it can go on a regular charger. And that one's at 0.97 volts. So we'll see if we can't get that one up a little bit. That one's at 4.1. So we will try, I believe those came out of the DeWalt pack. We'll try, these came out of the Ryobi, I believe, maybe. You look at those, and yes, they're all look to be around 0.9 to 1 volt. So we'll let those run for a while, see what happens there. That's why I wanted to get several batteries in here so we could kind of see what they're doing. This one's good. It's 3.7 volts. This one's 3.8. That one's 3.8 as well. There's one that's kind of low. And that one's 3.8. We're going to let those run for a little bit and see if we can get them up to the voltage that we want, which is better than 2.5. So our next step, while the Wise Blue chargers are running, is we're going to use these My Boxers. So what I like to do on them is put the batteries in here. And these are the ones that are over 2.5 volts, and let these chargers bring them all the way up. And these chargers are very good at grading internal resistance. And that's why I like to use them, because when you're sorting your packs, you want to sort by internal resistance as well as by overall capacity of the batteries themselves. So we're going to put these cells in here and let them run for a while, and we'll write the internal resistance of them on the batteries themselves. So when you're building up packs, you know what they are. I mean, you can sort through here. You can see this one is, when it cycles back through, that cell 1 is 135 on the internal resistance. So we will give these a while to charge and see how they do. So as you can see here, some of these are getting done charging on the MyBoxer. It looks like these last 4 are, which are, so let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and move this charger over to those slots. There we go. Whoops. Passed it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and write the internal resistance on the cell. Okay, so this cell is 99. The battery, say a 2 amp hour battery versus a 3.5 amp hour battery. Well, there's a lot more packed into that cell. And so it has a higher resistance naturally, and the discharge rate is usually a lot lower on the bigger batteries than it is on the smaller ones. So you think in power tool batteries or something like that, you really want a high discharge rate because you're trying to run that big motor. So let's go ahead and pull these out, and we're going to make room for some of the other ones to come in. So let's go ahead and jump back over here to the Wise Blue. You remember how low some of these batteries were. So let's see if we got any of them to pop up. Yeah, here you go. This one's 3.96 volts, so it's good to go. Let's go ahead and take it out. Next. These are having a hard time. This fourth one may make it, but maybe not. So, I mean, we've got at least one good one out of that. We can put down there, and the rest of them we'll give a little more time, see if anything happens to them. I've usually found if you don't get any kind of action within an hour on them, they kind of don't do well later. So, but we'll see. We'll give them a little more time. So now these are our Opus Finish chargers, and what they do is you put them in a discharge refresh mode, and so let's say we'll put a battery on here. And it will come in and say that. So we didn't need to go to our mode. Let's go to there. Let's go to our mode. And we want to go to discharge refresh. So what that does is it cycles these batteries down at 500 milliamps or half an amp. And then it brings them back up. So sometimes these batteries have been really cycled within a narrow window. And so if you cycle them all the way down and all the way back up a few times, it refreshes the battery's capacity a little bit. So we're going to run these. Now the issue here, so you see 500 milliamps. Well, it's going to discharge that rate until that battery's empty. And so that's per hour. So if it's 2 amp hours, which would be 2,000 milliamps, it's going to take 4 hours down and 4 hours back up each time it cycles. So you can see how this can take a very long time, depending on how big the battery is. And it usually cycles them 3 times. So we'll put them on there, but this will take a while. So. All right, so we're back on the batteries that are charging. We had some bad weather, and anyway, we cut the power off a few times, so they kept recycling. Anyway, what is very interesting is, like I said, normally I don't leave these on there that long, but all of these batteries came back to the voltage that they should be, except for one. So this one right here is bad. It's only 0.97 volts. The rest of them are all 4.2 or 4.19. So fantastic. We didn't have hardly any bad batteries. So I also, in the meantime, have brought up our Opus chargers, and I did the internal resistance and everything on these. And so how you check these is you go to the slot and you go to the display, and this one is 884 milliamp hours, which I wrote on there. This one's 864. So you want to put these in discharge refresh mode and run that, and then you can write that down. These were out of the power tool battery, so it doesn't surprise me that they have a little less milliamp hours. These are out of those medical packs, which are probably not cycled as hard, and you can see this one's 1445 and this one's 1528. So they have quite a bit more power in them. The reason you want to do this by internal resistance and by milliamp hours is when you reassemble your packs, you don't want the load going to the other cells. So if you put a weak cell in a pack with a bunch of great ones that are always taking the load, and the problem is they're kind of unbalanced a lot of the time, and it creates heat, and heat kills electronics. So you're just, one weak cell is going to take out an entire row and make it perform worse, and it unbalances everything. So when you're building packs, you want like for like. There's a program called Repacker, and you can get on there and enter the type of pack you want to build. If it's 3 in series or 4 in series by 6 in parallel or 10 in parallel, you can use that app and enter in the milliamp hours of each cell that you're putting together, and it'll auto configure the way the pack needs to be, which saves a lot of time. Otherwise it's just a whole bunch of math equations and balancing, which is not fun. So anyway, if you like these videos or if you have any questions, please let us know. Send an email to the email or at the end of the video. Please like and subscribe. If there's any comments or questions, please put them in there. Otherwise, have a great day. I'm David Ion. Thanks for tuning in.